Welcome to the Matt Vega Show. I'm your host, Matt Vega, and we are here to talk about all sports, all kinds of sports, NFL, NBA, MLB, WWE, even WWE, and all types of sports. If you see, I'm a big WWE fan. So the biggest and latest news right now is NFL. Right now, NFL's live with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the Carolina Panthers, and upcoming on ABC and ESPN, the Seattle Seahawks play the San Francisco 49ers. So, right now the NFL's in their last week of the regular season, week 18, and the NFL's having week 18, and the playoffs are just coming around next week. And the big question is who is going to the Super Bowl and who's going to win in the Super Bowl. You got all kinds of teams coming out of the NFC and the AFC. My best bet right now to go to the Super Bowl and win it are the Seattle Seahawks, because the Seahawks just won against the Rams. So the Seahawks just beat the best team in the NFC, which were the Rams, and the Seahawks have like a better shot now of going to the Super Bowl because you beat a very hot Rams team. They were a hot team. You have Matthew Stafford, you have Devontae Adams, Puka Nakua, even though he's under legal, and so you had that team, and you had a good coach in Sean McVay, and then the defense were starting to accomplish the team. So so they played. I think, what was it, Thursday night or Monday night? Monday night, and they took the Rams and they beat them. They beat them in a very exciting matchup. A very exciting matchup. And it was a great game, great game from all fourth quarters and all that stuff. But if let me stop babbling about the Seahawks, because the Seahawks aren't the only team. You have the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are a hot team. You have Cleb Williams, who's a young quarterback, and he's a very good quarterback. I he's one of the best in the NFL. Is like one of the best young guys in the NFL, and he's going to be the next franchise quarterback for, in my opinion, for the Chicago Bears, and he's gonna lead the Bears offense into the next decade, into the next era. It's gonna be called the Cleb Williams era for the Chicago Bears. That's the era, and they might get their Super Bowl this year. Because I'll tell you something, they if they play any team in the NFC, let's say the Eagles for an example, which is my team. The Eagles right now aren't so hot because that game against Buffalo on Sunday, that game should have been more of a high scoring game. The Bills the Bills had a bad offensive day. Like they were starting to in the fourth quarter at right at the end, and then the field goal and all that stuff. They needed to make a field goal, and they needed to make a 2 point conversion. What they needed to do, make a 2 point conversion. And if they made it that 2 point conversion, we would have been talking about something else. We would have been talking about the Bills. But the Eagles should have scored more higher. That game should have went up to 30 points. That game shouldn't have been to 10, 13 points. Unbelievable. The two best teams in the NFL, which have two good offenses, they don't they don't play good. They didn't play good. That wasn't their. That was like probably the worst games of the season. That was and it was like America's game of the week too, for I think, for NFL that week, and they barely did anything. They barely did anything. And and I think that Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts are two quarterbacks who who could rival Patrick Mahomes, and they do rival Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes right now has tore his ACL, and Patrick Mahomes isn't the best quarterback in the league right now. He's not in the talks. The talks right now should have said Drake May first. Cleb Williams, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, and probably a couple other guys. Trevor Lawrence. I like Jackson. I like Jacksonville. Jacksonville, in my opinion, have a very good shot of beating a lot of teams in the AFC. Very good shot, because I think Jacksonville is that like one of that teams that could just come out and they could just win the game. That just come out and they're just gonna win. They're gonna steamroll. That's what I think. They're gonna catch the team by surprise. That's what I think. They're gonna catch every team in the AFC by surprise. Because the only obstacle you really have to take in the AFC, so like if you want to go to the Super Bowl for any team in the AFC, is the New England Patriots. Because the New England Patriots, oh my God, the New England Patriots are the best team in the NFL right now. They have the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and they kind of have one of the best coaches in the NFL right now. So when you look at it, Jacksonville has a very good shot because like the Patriots lost to the Buffalo Bills. Like the Patriots they lose to the Bills and the Bills make a comeback in that game for the division title, which was like week 16 or 17, and week 16 or week 17. And Drake May probably played his worst game of the season against like one of the best defenses in the league and one of the best teams in the league against the Buffalo Bills. And they lose. They lose the division title to the Buffalo Bills. And that was like the Patriots' worst game of the entire year. But the Patriots are the best shot in the AFC to go to the Super Bowl and win it. Because the NFL is very competitive right now. It is neck to neck. Because you got the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC. You got the Rams in the NFC. You got the 49ers in the NFC. The Seahawks and the 49ers play later. When this live is happening right now in the stream, you have the Jaguars, which I just mentioned and which I just talked about. You have the Buffalo Bills, who are still the Bills. They horrible loss to the Eagles. Oh my God, I hated watching that game too. You have an up and coming Steelers. Steelers to me are gonna lose in the wild card. They're gonna be a wild card exit. You have Aaron Rodgers who retire this year. He's probably gonna rest his bags and he's probably out of here. And then who else? Who else is I didn't mention the Bears. I forgot to mention the Bears. If you're gonna get to know me, then you're probably gonna have to get to know that I'm gonna forget saying stuff that I want to say and want to get off my neck. For those who are watching right now and who are gonna watch me, and they're gonna subscribe. So sidetracked. The Denver Broncos are another team in the AFC. The Denver Broncos, in my opinion, could win and they could not win because you have a very smart coach in Sean Payton. You have a very good quarterback in Bo Nix. Bo Nix, in my opinion, for the Denver Broncos, he could be like the next John Elway. He could be the next John Elway for me. Bo Nix is that guy. He could be the next. He's gonna be just like I said about Williams at the beginning of the show and at the beginning of the stream. Is the same thing I think about Bo Nix and guys like Trey. The way I think of those young quarterbacks, I think they're gonna lead the league and they're gonna bring it. Those guys are gonna be the faces of the league. The other day, I saw something on Instagram. I saw a post of the new quarterbacks in the league, and they compared Jackson Dart, Drake May, Bo Nix to I think it was those three, and they compared them to Brady Manning, and Eli Manning. And I'm telling you, and I'll tell you something. It's too early to compare those guys to those type of quarterbacks. Way too early because Tom Brady, Drake May isn't close to the league of Tom Brady, nor is the other guys I just mentioned. And and when I look at who the competition for the NFL is right now, the NFL they have a lot of competition and they have a lot of views and a lot of people are watching the NFL. The NFL is very competitive. It's hard to win and it's hard to lose because you have teams right now who are neck to neck, and you don't know who goes to the Super Bowl and who could win it. You don't know who's gonna win this week, and you don't know who's gonna win next week. But that's enough for NFL talk. Now we're gonna get talking about the NFL draft, and starting with the NFL draft, the biggest talk is Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. He just won the Heisman, and I'll tell you something. He is gonna be the next He's gonna be the next quarterback for the New York Jets. Why I think he's gonna be the next quarterback for the New York Jets is because of this. The the New York Jets have a very good shot of getting the number one pick, but it's probably gonna be somewhere with the Giants or the Raiders. The Raiders have no life right now. They need something. They need something. They need something to make life better in Las Vegas. Because I tell you something, there is nothing good in Las Vegas. You're about to lose Max Crosby, and he's about to go to another team, and then you have no life for the rest of the defense, and then you don't have no life in the offense. Like Ashton Genty's still young and he still hasn't proven himself. You have Geno Smith, who just came from Seattle, and he's a horrible quarterback. He's not a good quarterback, and he's not a great quarterback. He's a horrible quarterback, and he still hasn't proven himself yet. But the first impressions we saw of Geno Smith in Seattle, oh my God, I'm not too sure, and he's a bust because a couple of years ago people were saying Geno Smith is going to be the next franchise quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, but no, he is not. No, he is not. And I have a lot of this year. The draft class is going to be good. You have Fernando Mendoza. You have Diego Pavia. I hope I said his name right, from Vanderbilt, who is like he's like turning into something else. He's like becoming a I don't know. He is ruining his career by the minute. By the minute. Just because you didn't win the Heisman doesn't mean you don't have to go out there and complain about everything. Because look what we saw with the '98 Heisman race. You guys know about your history, and 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 if you know your history, yeah, the '98 Heisman race, or 97 or 98, one of those 2 years, and you had a plethora of draft picks. So yeah, you have Diego Pavia, you have Fernando Mendoza, and you have more. You have C.J. Carr, you have Gunnar Stockton. I love Gunnar Stockton, and I lost the other day. Oh my God, Georgia, you blew it in the playoffs. Georgia blows it. Georgia. I don't know. I don't know about Georgia. Georgia, in my opinion, is something that cannot just. I don't know. I think Georgia next year is going to be bad too. I think Georgia next year is it's not going to they're not going to be a good team. They're not going to be like the Georgia we saw in 2023, the defending national championships, back-to-back national championships and all that stuff. But for college football, there is my playoff predictions were off by far. Oh my God. I had Ohio State playing Indiana in the national championship game. Ohio State. I really thought Ohio State was going to go back to back because they look like a very good team. Their defense was great. You had Julian Sayin, I hope I said his name right, from Ohio State. You had great coach in Ryan Day. I like Ryan Day a lot. I think he's a tremendous coach. Tremendous coach. He's proven himself in and out, and he has proven himself. And he's proven himself. So like Marcus Friedman, he decided to stay in Notre Dame. Marcus Friedman. And I thought Marcus Friedman should have went to the NFL by now. I thought he should have went to the NFL. Because he's already proven himself in college football. Like he brought Notre Dame to the national last year, even though they lost to Ohio State. I think he proved himself by bringing them to the national championship. They didn't win, but they lost to a very good team. It was a very good team. But I think he should have went to the NFL, looked for a job there, look for an open job in the NFL. Cause you're not like I don't know what he wants to do in Notre Dame. Like what else does he want to do other than win a national championship? Because like this year you had a very good shot, but they should have went to the playoffs. Like a lot of teams should have been in the playoffs and not out of it. Like James Madison being in the playoffs at Tulane, that's unbelievable. That's like the dumbest things I ever heard. And yeah, I think college football right now is not hotter than the NFL, but it's they're impressing a lot of stuff. They're impressing in a lot of ways in a lot of spots. And the Sharon Moore situation in Michigan. Whew. In sports there is a lot of controversy, and it's like a big drama. It's like soap opera at this point. Because you got Sharon Moore, you got the NBA betting scandal that's still happening right now with La Costa Nostra and all that stuff, and like I think that stuff is fishy too, but it's not my place to talk about. It's that I'm not an FBI director or FBI agent. I'm not all that stuff, but yeah, a lot of drama is happening in sports right now, and Sharon Moore, I think he jeopardized himself with this. Ruined his career. You're not gonna go. You're not gonna once you get out. You're not gonna come back as a coach. They're definitely not gonna let you back. That's not gonna happen. That is bound not to happen. And when look, all right, I'm gonna stop talking about football, and we're gonna transition into basketball, NBA basketball. NBA basketball right now is very hot right now, very hot. Cause, cause like, because like, you have the Thunder. The Thunder are the hottest team right now by far. You have a very good point guard in SJ, who might be the best player in the world ever since Jokic went down. And we're gonna get to talk about that. And SGA, the other day they lose to the Spurs. The Thunder are kind of been losing games instead of winning games. They still are maintaining their record. Big question is, can they break the 3-9 record? Can they break that record, or can they break the 1996's Bulls record with the Jordan's Bulls, the 72-10 record? Can they break that record? I don't know. I think they're going to lose 11 games this year. 12 games. They're not going to break any record. But I think they will go back to back. It's still too early in the season to decide, but I think they have a very good shot of going back to back. SGA might go in back to back MVPs. And my team that I think is looking good and is playing good and is doing all that stuff are the San Antonio Spurs. You have Victor Wembanyama, who's a very good center, young center, and all that stuff. and he in my opinion he looks like a he looks like a Manupo. Wemby for his career has two options to go. He has two options. One, if he has a good career and if he wins the championships, wins the MVPs, then he's gonna be called. He's gonna be one of the greatest of. He's gonna be the greatest blocking shot center ever. He's gonna be dominant in the paint, dominant in defense, dominant on the defense. And when I look at it, he's gonna be probably a very good. Wemby's a very good rebounder. He's a good defender in the paint, and he's good on offense. He could play in the paint. He could do all that. He could do all that stuff. But what my problem with Wemby is the injuries, because we have seen centers before that are big and tall like Wemby, and that look like Wemby before, but they just haven't clicked. Let's take for an example Manupo. Manupo had a lot of injuries, and look at where he is now, 6 feet under. And RIP to Manupo. He was a very good runner for Golden State and Washington. But that's where Wemby has options. That's two of Wemby's options. He either has a lot of injuries in his career and doesn't have a good career, becomes a draft bust, or which is the most likely, he's gonna have a career, play defense, and he's gonna do all that stuff, and he's gonna win his championships. And the San Antonio Spurs have a good point guard in De'Aaron Fox. But I think since Giannis wants to leave Milwaukee, I think the Spurs should get Giannis. And I think that's like one of those best shots. If the Spurs get Giannis, because like you're gonna have your team captain and your star of the team and your center, which is Wemby. You're gonna have your point guard in De'Aaron Fox, who De'Aaron Fox and Wemby, they're a duo, and then you're gonna have Giannis. You are going to have in my opinion, that would be a big three. And in my opinion, that would be the best team to win the championship and go to the finals and to win in the finals and to do all these stuff in the finals. But it's not just the Spurs in the NBA. You have the Knicks. This team's Knicks can be compared to the other Knicks teams, but they're probably not. Probably not. The Knicks aren't probably going to will. They just better not have a run in with Detroit. Cuz Detroit right now are playing a style of basketball that we haven't seen. Detroit have a star point guard right now in Cade Cunningham, and I think he's going to lead. I think he's going to be the next star point guard for the Detroit Pistons, and he's going to do all that stuff for them. But when you look, it's either Detroit or it's either the Knicks and out east to win it all. But I think this year it's going to be out west to win the title. Because I don't believe in Boston anymore. Boston is not my team to believe in anymore. Because Boston have Tatum out. Jaylen Brown isn't playing like Jaylen Brown. I mean, he's been playing like Jaylen Brown, but he's not like Jaylen. He's not like the Jaylen Brown we saw like 2 years ago. He's not the Jaylen Brown we saw last season. He's not the Jaylen that we are used to seeing. Even though he's coming back into form, it's not the Jaylen Brown that we're used to. And now it's all about out west. It's starting. The NBA is starting to look like how it looked in the 2000s when you look at it from a conference standpoint. Like the Eastern Conference isn't that competitive. The Eastern Conference isn't that competitive. The West though are very competitive, very competitive. You have the Thunder and Spurs, which I just talked about and mentioned. You have Dallas, who have who have a young Cooper Flag, who have Kyrie Irving, and who are about to trade Anthony Davis for probably a very good amount of draft picks, and I don't know who they're gonna get in return. But but like but like I think Cooper Flag he's gonna stay in Dallas for the rest of his career. I think he's never gonna leave there. I think Cooper Flag is gonna be the next franchise star for Dallas. He's gonna be the guy. Dallas is gonna be remembered because of it. That's what Dallas is gonna be remembered as. The Lakers and the Lakers right now have a big situation, big drama situation. The Lakers have a coach in JJ Redick, who last week he said he's not doing another 50 games like this. And I think JJ Redick is right and wrong about this, because as a coach, I would motivate them. I wouldn't trash them in the public. I wouldn't have if I was in JJ Redick's position, I wouldn't have gone into a press conference, sat down, and said, "I'm not doing another 50 games. I'm not doing it." With this face all tired and and all that stuff. But I think he should have handled it in a way like he should talk to the team. You should have had a practice. He said he was gonna have the day, like a couple days after that, the practice with the team. He's very proud of the team and all that stuff. How did you change in like a couple days? Like, how did JJ Redick went from he's not doing another 50 games like this into being like all mad and stuff? Like, how did explain to me that? Cause one, I am like, these Lakers guys need motivation, because right now in the NBA, what we lack is defense. There's no defense in the NBA. We're gonna get to talk about that when I'm talking later about my top fives and all that stuff. And Jordan, the GOAT. And then there's no defense in the NBA, and especially with the Lakers. Nobody plays defense on that team. Like Luka, he's known for being lazy. Like Luka's known for being lazy until this past summer when he lost weight and got in shape, and now Luka's dominant. And then you have Austin Reeves, who he's a scoring machine. But the other day I saw a post, and it was Luka and Austin Reeves, and they're the first two Lakers duo. They're the first two stars since Shaq and Kobe to average 40 plus points, I think it was, or something like that. And that's gonna be a Lakers future. When LeBron retires, the Lakers they're gonna start clicking, in my opinion. Something is gonna click for the Lakers. And I think your best bet is also to trade for Giannis, because you're gonna have a big and they're all scoring. They're all scoring machines. Now you just have to think about the defense. You gotta fix the defense. You gotta fix how they pass the ball. And that's the two things you gotta fix. Because I think other than that, the Lakers are great. I think they're gonna keep on playing great, in my opinion. And then other than the Lakers, you got Houston. You got a very old Kevin Durant, who wants to win his final chip, because he's probably going to retire in 2 seasons. Then you have Anthony Edwards, who's everybody says he's the second coming of Michael Jordan. I don't think Anthony Edwards isn't nowhere near the second coming of Michael Jordan. God no. I didn't. Sure, I'm a young 13-year-old kid who lives in a small town in upstate New York, but I never saw Jordan play. I only saw highlights. So I don't know how Jordan was live or in person or this and that and blah blah blah. I don't know about that. One thing I do know about Jordan is that he's the most competitive person ever. Like he is willing to die on the court. People have said and stated, analysts and all these stuff sportscasters have talked about, and he is willing to die on that court. And he's like a general. Michael Jordan, but Anthony Edwards that's not Anthony Edwards' mentality. Anthony Edwards' mentality is to go out there, humiliate them, and beat them. Anthony Edwards will disrespect you in your face. Like Anthony Edwards, he's the star of the Timberwolves, and he's and this and that. But will he bring the Timberwolves a chip? No, they will not. No, he will not. I don't think. Yeah, he probably will go to a finals, but they probably won't win a chip. Because, like, other than Anthony Edwards, who you got? Like, Nas Reed. Other than Anthony Edwards and probably, like, Nas Reed and stuff like that, who else do you got? Because, you like, I'm trying to come up with words, because I'm trying to sound nice here, because I don't want to, like, abolish all these players and stuff like that. But you have these guys and stuff like that, and Edwards isn't the type of guy to bring a chip by himself. You can't do it by yourself. It's only happened 2 times in the NBA. It's only happened in Dirk in 2011 and Hakeem in '94, who won as the lone stars of the team. So you're not going to win a title alone. You're definitely not going to win a title alone. But Nas Reed could help a lot. He could help a lot. He could help by defending, rebounding, and all those stuff. So let's get off the current topic with the NBA. Let's talk about all-time debates. For those of those NBA fans who are listening right now to my podcast, to my show, and to my live stream, you guys are probably wondering, oh, well, who do I think is to go? Well, I think you gotta. It depends how you look at it. Because one, you have Michael Jordan, who I think is to go. Because I think Michael Jordan is the greatest scorer of all time. I think Michael Jordan is one of the best defenders all time, maybe the best defender ever. Hot take there. Michael Jordan is the only guy to go undefeated in the finals. You got to look at it, because Bill Russell, sure, he won 11 championships and he's the greatest winner in sports. Sure. Bill Russell lost in 1967 to Wilt Chamberlain when Wilt finally beat him. Because Bill Russell always beat Wilt Chamberlain. Only that one time Wilt Chamberlain beat him in like that big game that mattered. And he finally prevailed against the 76ers. So Jordan, every time he went to the finals, he always won. Always won. Jordan always won in the finals. He's 6-0 in the finals. Every time he went, never allowed a game 7. Never allowed a game 7 and always went to the finals. Always won. Is undefeated. And you guys probably know that. So the biggest debate is, well, his finals opponents. Michael Jordan played a top 5 player in Magic Johnson. That's the greatest point guard ever, top 5 player ever. His second championship. Michael Jordan plays the second runner-up in MVP behind Jordan, which was Clyde Drexler. At the time, people were calling him the second Michael Jordan, the guy that could rival Michael Jordan. At that time, people thought that like people thought Clyde Drexler could really rival Michael Jordan. Like they saw him as this like Michael Jordan type guy that could glide in the air. Like that's why they call him Clyde the Glide, that could glide in the air, that could dunk, and that could slam it down. He finished I think he finishes like second in league scoring that year in his second runner up in MVP, and I think his all offensive first team too that year. I think so, and I think Clyde, yeah, and I think that year Clyde was known for dunking. That was in his prime, and they were calling him the second version of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan goes out, sets a record for 3-point shots, and it made team team Jordan record, team record. And Michael Jordan shoots in like what was it, game 1 or game 2? Goes out, shoots threes after threes, and they all go in. And it was a bad idea that Michael Jordan after that goes into the 3-point contest. Like, don't get ahead of yourself. But Michael Michael Jordan then the third year, the third straight championship plays Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley wins the MVP that year over Jordan. He finishes. I think he led the league in scoring that year. Finishes. He's top 5 in league scoring. I don't know if he finishes second or third or fourth or whatever, but he's probably top 5 in league scoring. Charles Barkley's fully in his prime, and Charles Barkley, like in every game gives it all against Jordan. He goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with Jordan. Barkley drops 54, Jordan drops 56. Jordan always scored ahead of Jordan. I mean, Jordan always scored ahead of Barkley. My fault. And Jordan wins his third title that year, and then retires. Jordan goes into retirement, and the guy and the man in the NBA, like the face in the NBA, is Hakeem, because Hakeem is dominant, but Hakeem isn't the only guy in the NBA at that time. Because I think the NBA during the '90s and Jordan's era was the most competitive era in the NBA. Because you had in the mid '90s you had Hakeem, who was dominating. He was winning the championships. You had Barkley, who was winning his MVPs, and he was going to the Western Conference Finals with the Suns, and he was with the Sixers before that, and then after that he was with the Rockets. You had David Robinson, who won an MVP in 95 over Hakeem. You had Shaquille O'Neal, who had the Magic, and they go to the finals in 94. 94 or 95? 95, I think. Go to the finals in 95. 95, yeah. They go to the finals in 95. They lose to the Rockets. They go. Then after that, Jordan comes back in '95. They lose to the Magic. Sure, Jordan hadn't been back yet. He wasn't in shape. Number one. Number two, he wasn't yet come back. He was still in baseball shape. It wasn't in basketball shape. And plus, he took 2 years off. And he probably in those 2 years, he hadn't touched the basketball. Probably in those 2 years. And I think and I look back, or I don't look back, but I think Jordan like gave it all against Magic. Then that next summer, Jordan's filming Space Jam. Jordan films Space Jam. During that, he invites NBA players to go to scrimmages, like guys like Reggie Miller, Dennis Rodman, Christian Laettner, Patrick Ewing, Penny Hardaway, guys like that, and he gets back in shape. Then in '96, they go 72-10. They play Gary Payton, who won Defensive Player of the Year that year, and was guarding Jordan throughout the entire series. Then you had Shawn Kemp, who was an All-Star, who was an All-NBA, I think, first or second team. And they go to the finals, and you have a great head coach in George Karl. And they go and they bring Jordan to 6 games. Jordan wins on 5 games, I think. 5 or 6 games, one of those two. Because like and Jordan wins on Father's Day. And last thing you see is Jordan in the locker room crying on a basketball like that, remembering his great late father, James Jordan. And then in '97, they play that year. Karl Malone wins MVP, and Jordan is irritated that he didn't win MVP that year, as he said in the Last Dance. Jordan Jordan in that goes and plays the Jazz with John Stockton and Karl Malone, MVP Karl Malone, and they lose. They lose to Karl Malone. The Jazz lose to the Bulls, and by then Jordan is tired, and Jordan is thinking about retiring. So in the '97 off season, he goes and says he's gonna have a farewell tour, the Last Dance. Jordan goes. The Mid-season, Scottie Pippen has a contract situation. Mid-season, Jerry Krause says he's not bringing Phil Jackson back, and Jordan says, "Well, I'm not coming back until if Phil's not coming back, he's only gonna play under Phil Jackson." I think because of Jordan, I think because of Jordan, I think Jordan he could have stayed because he retired at a young age. He retired at like 30, 35, 36. I think Jordan could have kept on playing, and he still would have won with the Bulls. They probably would have lost to the Spurs in '99 or 2000, but they probably would have they probably wouldn't have won after. They probably could have won one more in '99 in the '98-'99 year. I think that was the lockout year, and they could have won a fourth straight championship. But the Bulls were old, and they were old and tired. The Bulls had nothing left, so that's probably unlikely. And yeah, so Jordan has played good finals opponents, and they were great opponents during that time. During that finals time, like Jordan played good guys. It wasn't like LeBron's Spurs or Warriors, but Jordan played good players. He played good players. I hear people at school all the time say, "Well, Jordan played against plumbers and firemen." No, he did not. No, he did not. Jordan, that was the '60s. That was the '60s. That were plumbers and firemen and you could and a plumber and electrician and all that stuff. Jordan Jordan in his era played in the best era of the NBA. NBA had the most viewership during that time. Like the reason why the NBA is what it is and now or like back or like in the 2010s and stuff like that with all those contract deals and everybody watching NBA, well that was because of Jordan. Magic and Bird saved the NBA from the 70s, coke infested 70s. Then in the 80s, Magic and Bird save it with their rivalry. It's Magic and Bird, then it becomes the rest of the league. Then Jordan comes, brings the league to new heights. The Dream Team, the Gatorade ads. It's time to be like Mike, and all that stuff. The old commercials and the deals. Like NBA signs with Fila and Nike. They sign with Fila, Jordan, Nike, Reebok, uh, Adidas, and Jordan. And Jordan, really, I think was the guy that brought the league to the United States. If you look at it from a marketing standpoint, Jordan versus LeBron. LeBron won from a marketing standpoint for the league. Had one of the lowest viewership, one of the lowest ratings since the '70s. NBA has to sell free food, free tickets, free drinks, free beer, free all that stuff. Then, then, in Jordan's era, they get they have a deal with NBC. You have the Dream Team representing the NBA. First time the NBA goes global. Jordan made the NBA international. Jordan was the guy. Like that's why you see guys like Luka now, Jokic dominating the league, and that's why you see all these guys now dominating in the league, because you see Jordan made it international. The NBA went international after the Dream Team. They go international. They go to new heights, and they go to here. They go to there. Barcelona. Barcelona. And Jordan he brought it. He made the NBA what it is. Because I think if it wasn't for Magic and Bird, and I think if it wasn't for Jordan, the NBA we wouldn't be talking about no NBA right now. We wouldn't be talking about no NBA right now. Cause 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 like NBA, yeah. You know, you want to hear a hot take? Kobe. I think that the guy that after Jordan left the league, there is this big thing who would replace Jordan. Well, you had we have a lot of options. We have Kobe Bryant, who is the best option. Then we have Vince Carter, who like we have Kobe Bryant, who is the best option. Then we have Vince Carter. Then we have Tracy McGrady. Those were the three guys who could replace Jordan. Out of all those three guys, Kobe was the guy that like copied Jordan. He was second. He was essentially 2.0, Jordan 2.0. Kobe Bryant. This is why I don't have Kobe Bryant in debates. People get mad why Kobe Bryant isn't in the GOAT debates. Well, here's why. Kobe Bryant played in an era where with Shaq and Phil Jackson, he started winning. He won three straight titles. But that was Shaq's team. That wasn't Kobe's team. That was Shaq's team. Shaq was the guy that was winning those MVPs, with those finals MVPs and all those stuff. That was Shaq. Kobe then gets the mantle when Shaq gets traded to Miami in 2004. Kobe, like the Lakers start losing. While in Cleveland, LeBron was making Cleveland his team. He was the guy that was bringing Cleveland to the finals. LeBron was the guy that was finishing second in league scoring and all stuff. At the age of 21, he was bringing these guys to the finals, dragging a sub 500 team to the NBA finals against a talented Spurs team and a prime Tim Duncan. And while Kobe was losing, it wasn't the Kobe era. We never had a Kobe era. We had a in the after Jordan retires, the era we had after that was from we had a lockout era from 98 to 99. 2000 to 03, that was Shaq's era. From 03 to 07, we have a Tim Duncan era. And then from 08 to 15 or to 16 or to 7, probably 17. From 08 to 17, that was LeBron's era. And LeBron was the guy that was winning those MVPs, those championships. Kobe only won 2 straight with Powell, and barely, because the first year, sure, you beat the Magic, and you have an upstart, Dwight Howard. And then after that, you have an upstart, Dwight Howard, and then the next year you play a Celtics team who won in 08 and still have a big 3, and they have more after that. And the Celtics take them to 7 games. They take these guys to 7 games and they win. So basically, my problem with Kobe is also he was never the best shooting guard in the league. And whoa, that's hot take. I'll tell you why. Kobe, there was players that had more skill than Kobe. these guys had that were more talented than Kobe. Like Kobe, like all Kobe just possessed was that he was the workhorse in the room, and that he brought everything he had. Kobe, Kobe, in my opinion, Kobe, in my opinion, brought Kobe, in my opinion, brought oh Kobe Bryant, in my opinion, brought uh he was just a workhorse in the room. He had more skills than these guys, but talent wise, and then Vince Carter and all those stuff. And Tracy McGrady had more skill, and Vince Carter had more skills. But like when you look at it, Kobe is in a top 10 player all time. And I'll leave you guys there. I'll leave you guys cliffhanger. Kobe is in a top 10 player of all time. On Monday, we're gonna start talking about more stuff and more stuff. So please subscribe. Matt Vega out, and see you guys on Monday.